Hey friend, welcome to Menopause and Motherhood, the empowering podcast made just for menopausal mums juggling the beautiful chaos of family life. If you're ready to reclaim your health, confidence and sanity, including managing weight and feeling strong again, you are in the right place. I'm your host SJ, and together we'll navigate menopause with practical, real-world advice focused on rest, fuel and movement, the three pillars that support weight loss, boost your energy and help you feel like yourself again. Plus, this podcast is proudly partnered with Cuppa Tea, a delicious calming tea designed to support menopausal women's well-being, helping you find balance and calm in your busy day. Now, grab your favourite cuppa and let's dive into today's episode. Hello, welcome back to today's episode. I'm SJ. If you're new here, you are so welcome to our community. I'm currently sat in my kitchen with one of my dogs on the sofa. She is sunning herself. I've also got my cup of Energize from Mother Cuppa. You probably heard them in the introduction. Go and grab yourself some. It is the best tea ever. And the Hydrate blend is going to power me through this podcast episode with you. Now, in today's episode, we're talking about something that we touch every day and we rarely stop to think about it, probably in terms of our health, but it's something that you probably separate out as you are doing your rubbish. And my daughter at school recently has been going through that phase, as they do in school, where they start teaching about like the environment and recycling, and she's been telling me to turn all the lights off and make sure that we recycle our plastics. So today we are talking about plastics, not from a save the planet kind of perspective, but we're talking about how plastics may actually be affecting your hormones during menopause. And I want to leave you with some simple changes that we can make to protect ourselves. So we know that plastic is important to us. It's something that we use in our everyday life. You, like me, are probably in the habit of separating your rubbish and putting your plastics separately so that they can be recycled. But today what I want to talk about is how plastic is impacting our bodies, particularly for those of us going through menopause. So if we actually back up and we think about what plastics contain, many plastics contain what we call endocrine disrupting chemicals, or EDCs. So your endocrine system is the way that your body uses hormones to get it to do certain things. So during menopause, we know that we are potentially experiencing things like hot flushes and mood swings, and our priority is to help our body in any way that we can to make its life easier. And what we want to be doing is avoiding things like BPA so that it makes our body's job easier. So there was a study in 2021 that found that 93% of women that were tested had detectable levels of BPA in their urine. So that might have come from things like a plastic water bottle, it might have come from food wrapping. I mean, if you just take a moment to think about how much plastic is like around your home. I mean, even if you just look around right now, there is an awful lot of plastic in our homes and in around the food that we eat and the things that we drink. So the problem with BPA, and I have done a previous podcast episode about this before, is that it is known to mimic estrogen. If you go and you look at the cancer charities, they often have a section on their page about avoiding endocrine disrupting chemicals. Because for us as women, and that's any woman from like my daughter's age, babies, all the way through to old age, these chemicals can disrupt our hormones. Now, for us, when we're perimenopause and menopausal, our hormones are having a hard time and our body's working hard to like deal with this. The problem is that BPAs can potentially make our symptoms, the things that we have like hot flushes and mood swings and the tiredness, can make those things worse. And there is even an impact on breast health. So many women's breast cancer charities will have pages on their websites dedicated to raising awareness around these endocrine disrupting chemicals and trying to help people like you and me to reduce the amount of plastic that we are using consuming in our day-to-day life. So this isn't really about just reducing plastic for the environment. It's actually really about this health decision. So I want to share with you 5 easy ways that you can cut down plastic in your daily life. Now, these are things that you can do quite easily. Maybe pick one, start with it, see how you get on. And let me know how you do, which one you chose. My email is in the show notes. So number 1, at the top of my list, I think this is quite an easy one that you can sort of do quite simply, is to switch to glass or stainless steel when it comes to your food and drink. And I think the most obvious one is switching out your plastic water bottle. So you are doing an amazing job for the environment by reusing your water bottle. But the problem is that many plastics do contain BPA and microplastics, and they can leach into your drink, especially when it gets warm. So a really quick switch is to actually use a stainless steel or a glass water bottle. I think ultimately stainless steel is more practical. If you go on to like TikTok shop and things like that, there's loads of stainless steel water bottles and cups and all sorts of things that you can get out there. The one that I've got is one of those Miyoki ones. They're really cheap, and it's a stainless steel bottle with a stainless steel straw, and I just use that for water. Now, I also use glass cups when I'm drinking my mother Cuppa Tea that I have in front of me here. And you can also get, if you click the link in the show notes and you want to try some of the tea, I would really recommend actually treating yourself to one of the cups that you can get, one of their glassware cups, because I think it really is like the perfect size for the tea that we're drinking. And I really believe that glass actually makes your drink taste better. I mean, there's a reason why they put beer in pint glasses, so I'm rolling with that one. But yeah, the link is in the show notes. Go and grab yourself some tea and get yourself a nice cup to drink it out of. Okay, number 2 is to try and ditch the plastic food wraps. Now, I find myself getting really frustrated when I'm walking around the supermarket because there is plastic over everything that we eat, everything. And this plastic is a pollutant. A lot of it is quite difficult to recycle as well. If you think about like the plastic that sort of that bread comes in, that's quite difficult to recycle. So if you can, I would try and remove as much of that as you possibly can. If you are using something like cling film at home to wrap your food in, you could try beeswax wraps instead, silicone lids, or simply a bowl with a plate on top. I've got a couple of really good silicone lids. I've got some beeswax wraps as well. I wrap my cheese in the beeswax wraps and put them in the fridge. I think that's a really good way of storing cheese. Fun fact for you, the average UK household uses 300 feet of cling film every year. That's enough to wrap up the Tower of London more than 200 times. It sounds mad, doesn't it? It really, really does. Like, we think about how much plastic there is. I think the supermarkets could do a much better job of reducing the packaging and the plastic. And I think if you are shopping in local markets, for example, if you're going to farm shops, you're in a much better situation where you can actually buy produce that isn't wrapped in plastic as well. Okay, number 3 on my list is to avoid canned foods with BPA linings. Now, I don't know if you ever pull out, I mean, those of us here in the UK, we love a tin of baked beans, don't we? But those cans that have food inside them are lined with plastic to prevent rust. It leaches into the food, and especially acidic things like potatoes as well. So buying, tomatoes, buying tinned tomatoes can actually be quite problematic as well. This also goes for your coffee cups as well. So when you're going and you're buying your Starbucks or your Costa, whatever it is, that cup that you have will be lined with plastic as well. And that plastic, because there's a hot drink inside of it, is going to leach into your hot drink. So again, if you can be using a reusable stainless steel cup, and I think a lot of places give you a discount as well, like if you reuse your cup, then that is not only going to be good for the environment, but incredibly good for your health as well. In terms of what you could switch them out for, maybe look out for items that are in glass jars instead of tinned. But again, this can be quite a challenging one to try and switch things out. I mean, obviously, when it comes to tomatoes, maybe switching to fresh tomatoes if you're using them in a recipe might be helpful. Okay, this one's quite an interesting one for those of you who love to work out, is actually thinking about the fibers that you're choosing for your clothing. So synthetic fabrics like polyester do shed plastic microfibers even when you have washed them. So you want to be switching out for things like cotton, bamboo, linen, and these are good for your skin, your hormones, and also the environment as well. Now, the reason I touch on this one is because, of course, many of us who exercise, we choose to buy stretchy, supportive leggings, which are brilliant. Like, I am not saying that you don't wear your stretchy, comfy, sweat wicking workout gear. Like, I am not, like, I do not begrudge you that. But a big piece of advice that I have with this is to think about the underwear that you are choosing to put on between your crotch and your leggings. And the reason I say this is because if you think about that, and I mean the bit that you wipe when you go to the toilet, that can be quite a sensitive area, and it can also absorb a lot of these microplastics. So a really good piece of advice is to make sure that the underwear that you're wearing between your crotch and your workout trousers is actually not a synthetic fabric. So choose your cotton pants, get some good breathable underwear so that you're giving your body that bit of protection between your crotch and your... I can't believe I have to keep saying the word crotch here. I don't know what else to use. Between your crotch and your workout trousers. Number 5 is read your labels on toiletries and cosmetics. Now, I think this one's probably a little bit better known. Those of you that are health conscious, you probably do choose already brands that are plastic free, that don't contain parabens. And those are things that are commonly found in like scented products and cosmetics. But I think the cosmetic and personal care industry has really cottoned on to the fact that people don't want phthalates and parabens in their products anymore. And there are so many companies that you can go to get fragrance-free or naturally scented products. You can look out for brands that are really transparent about their ingredients. I also have a partnership with Arbonne, so their products, so all of their makeup, all of their skincare, all of their body care stuff is all paraben free, doesn't have EDCs, so I'll pop the link in the show notes for you as well. Your skin and your hormones will definitely thank you for it. I know it can feel expensive, particularly like in this country. We sort of have a couple of shops that we have like Poundland and Savers and things like that where you can get like cheap brands, you know the ones that I'm talking about, things like Nivea and I don't know what else, like Dove and that sort of thing. But those are the brands that do have these EDCs in them. So yes, they're cheap, but they're not going to be great for your health. So my advice would be, if you can afford to, invest in at least one item that does not contain these chemicals. And I think obviously these things can be more expensive. So think about the item that you use the most, whether it's like a shower gel or a body moisturizer. Think about something that you use the most, and I would switch that one out. So that might be shower gel, because if you think about it, like you're using that maybe once, even twice a day, washing it all over your body. So maybe investing in a paraben-free shower gel and body moisturizer might be a really, really good starting point, because that's something that you maybe use all the time. So I hope this has been helpful and enlightening today. There's a lot of things going on in our bodies during menopause. And I think the attitude that I take when it comes to all of this is that I want to do whatever I can to make my body's life easier. I don't want it to have to work harder than it already is. And if there's things that I can do, simple things like changing my water bottle, switching out my shower gel, buying ingredients that aren't in tins, if those things could potentially help me to reduce my hot flushes, to reduce my mood swings, then I'm definitely here for that. And I'm sure because you're here and you're still listening to the end of this podcast, I'm sure you think like me too. So I think it's important for us to know what not to invite into our body is a really powerful step. Like, obviously reducing plastic isn't going to solve all of our menopause symptoms, but it is really one way that we can actually support our natural hormonal rhythms. And again, I always say this idea of helping my body. Like, I think about, like, my body's going through a rough time at the moment. What can I do to help it? It's like, I wouldn't drink alcohol right now because it's going to make my body work harder. And it doesn't need to work any more harder than it already is. So this is one more way that we can model healthy choices also for our families as well. And it's important to remember that every single small change counts. I'm not suggesting that you go out and you clear out every single personal care product that you have and replace them, because that would be really expensive. Like, think about things as they are running out, as things wear out. Start with one thing that's really simple. I think the drink container is probably the most simple when you're sipping your water. Go on to TikTok or wherever it is, go to the local store, buy yourself a cute, stainless steel cup and go from there, because your hormones, I'm sure, will absolutely love you for it. I hope you found today's episode helpful and interesting. It would be really great if you would share it with a friend. Come over and tell me which one you've implemented, which one did you try. I would love to hear from you. As always, my email address is in the show notes. Go and grab yourself a cup of Mother Cuppa as well. Their teas are designed to support women's hormones. I absolutely love them. And why not treat yourself to a cute teapot and glass at the same time? Because that's going to make sure that those EDCs don't get into your system while you're drinking your tea. Have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and I look forward to catching you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to my mum's podcast. I hope you like it. Please share it with a friend.
Thanks so much for listening to Menopause and Motherhood. I hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring as you navigate this journey. Remember, it's all about small steps, resting well, fueling your body, and moving in ways that feel good for you. And don't forget to check out Mother Cuppa Tea for the perfect moment of calm in your busy day. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other amazing mums like you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.